Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. Myself Dr. Maimuna Azhar, physiotherapist, and today I'm going to deliver a lecture on the subject of evidence-based practice or evidence-based physiotherapy. We were studying chapter number 2 and today is the last topic from the chapter number 2. After the completion of these two chapters, chapter number 1 and chapter number 2, you guys have a test on the next Friday. So be prepared and you guys should prepare your test well, because it can be in the form of the Viva on the Zoom or on the WhatsApp, or it can also be in the form of the written test which can be conducted on the Google form. So we have studied the two chapters and today is the last topic of the second chapter. We were studying topic refining your questions in the chapter number 2 and the chapter name was what do I need to know. So refining your question, the proceeding part for that chapter is diagnosis and prognosis. When you are going to refine your questions for prognosis and diagnosis, what do you need to do? First of all, we will learn some of the things about the prognosis and then we will learn some of the things about the diagnosis. In the last lecture, we learned some ways. We learned that how we can specifically identify the questions and we can make them specified. We can make them in the specified form rather than making them in the large forms. So coming towards the prognosis part. Prognosis means that what will happen in the future with the disease. For example, a person is having some kind of pain, a shoulder pain or the elbow pain or the wrist pain or any kind of pain. What will happen to the pain in future? So the prognosis part, we need to define a lot of questions. There comes a lot of questions in our mind that how will the pain improve in the future and how it will proceed in the future and what factors can affect these situations. So considering this situation, we are devising some factors, we are devising some words which can help us to make specified questions. So number one is patient or problem, as we did in the last things, and the second one is outcome. In the patient and the problem, you guys know that we are discussing one scenario in this whole chapter, that the patient was having acute low back pain. So in the patient or the problem situation, we are going to fit that thing which we have discussed already about patient with acute low back pain, and the patient is adult one. The age of the patient is not being mentioned, but the patient is being included in the adult people. So the next thing which should be considered about the prognosis part, that is outcome. So what can be outcome? In outcome, we are going to discuss two things. What can be the amount of outcome and what can be the probability of the outcome. In the amount of outcome, we can identify that if the improvement is coming, then what can be percentage for the improvement. And probability of the outcome means does it will lead towards a better or it will worsen the situation. So we are going to discuss both things. In probability, there can be both situations. So probability of the outcome and amount of the outcome, it is really necessary in this situation. Another thing which is not being mentioned, but it can also be added in terms of our outcome, that is time frame. That how long time we need for a situation. For example, if a person is having a stroke, what will happen to stroke in 6 months, then in 1 year, then in 2 years, we can decide that according to our situation. If a person is having a bit low back pain, so the time frame we are adjusting, it can be 6 weeks. But the person with some stroke or some major conditions or cerebral palsy, there can be the longer time and we can identify that accordingly. There are some management theories which we deal or which we discuss before solving any situation. For example, in the patient with acute back pain, there can be different situations to resolve that condition. Now you can resolve the condition by giving different management plans. There can be plan in which you give intervention and there can be plan in which do not give any intervention. So the plan in which you give intervention, it is known as clinical course of the condition. If a person is having some kind of intervention, during any disease, so it will be considered in the part of clinical course of the intervention. And if the person is not having intervention and it is going in the natural way, in the natural process, so it will be called natural history of the condition. For example, a patient with low back pain comes to us after 6 months. Then during that 6 months in which he did not take any treatment, any intervention or any therapy, that would be considered as natural history of the condition. And after that 6 months, when he started his physiotherapy or any kind of treatment or any kind of intervention, it would be known as clinical course of the condition. So when we have different management strategies, so there can be different clinical course, and all these courses will having different effects and different outcome. So considering this part, the first question which comes to our mind, that if a patient comes to us and say that, can I recover? A patient with acute back pain comes to us and say, can I recover in 6 weeks? So how we can identify that, can patient recover in the 6 weeks or not? So this is the question which we should be clear about through evidence-based practice. And in evidence-based practice, we need to refine the question. We need to refine the question by identifying the heterogeneous group. We will take different groups and we will see that did the patient improve or did the patient recover in some of the patients by having these kind of modalities or this kind of treatment, and the patient recovered in 6 weeks or not. So considering that part, we will go towards this. We will identify different heterogeneous groups and we will make the or develop the situation accordingly. So in prognosis part, the two parts which are going to be discussed or which will specify our question, the number one is patient or problem, and the second is outcome and time frame. According to this situation, according to this scenario, we know that the patient or the problem is the patient or adult patient with acute low back pain, and the outcome and time frame is probability of being pain free within 6 weeks. Probability of being pain free within 6 weeks. So here we are discussing outcome with the help of probability, with the help of the amount of outcome, and also with the help of time frame. Now proceeding it on the advanced stage. Now we have completed that stage 1. Moving it toward the stage 2, what can be situation that how we can proceed it later. Now we also need to consider some indicators. Like a person comes to us and say that he has acute low back pain, and he also says that he did not had this pain ever in his life. Like the patient did not experience such kind of pain in the past history of his life. So this is the technical question. At this point, the patient and the physiotherapist should be confused that it is a good sign or it is a bad sign. It can be the good sign that patient never had this pain, and it can be the bad sign that why did the patient had this pain now? Why did this situation occur? What are the causes which are leading toward this situation at this time? So we need to think it practically in the both terms that what can happen. So considering that part, the later part, we will develop the indicator for the prognosis, and the indicator would be no previous spells of low back pain. So we have devised 3 situations where we firstly did patient and the problem with outcome and time frame. Now patient and the problem with its indicators. So these are the parts which can make us clear about the prognostic part of the patient's disease. And one thing which we need to be clear, that the prognosis tells us about what will happen in the future, not the questions about the causes of what will happen in future. And clinical course of the patient would be what it will be, not why it will be. The prognostic part will also tell us that what that condition would be in future, not give the answer for the why this condition would be in the future. So prognostic part is really important. You guys need to be clear about these questions. Now moving toward the last part of your chapter, and that is diagnosis. Diagnosis means you are going to identify the actual cause of the disease, or like you can say that what is the particular condition name of that condition, PET condition, which was making this all situation or producing such causes. Now in the diagnostic part, there can be misinformation and misclassification and misdiagnosis. Now the misclassification and misdiagnosis, these are really the bad factors, these are really the worst factors for the diagnostic part. If a person cannot identify or diagnose any condition in a true manner, or if the physiotherapist misdiagnose the condition or misclassify the condition, it is going to be a really bad factor. So for that, we need to identify how much we are relying on diagnostic test. For example, if the person is having the blood test and we are relying that if the HB level is very low and we are saying that patient is anemic, so we would know that how much we are relying on the blood test for considering the diagnosis of anemia. The same way, we would think that the patient is having the low back pain or we are performing the X-ray, how much we will rely on the X-ray. We are performing the MRI, how much we will rely on the MRI, and how much we will rely on the other things like this in the patient having different kind of pains. There is a test which is known as Lassegue test. Lassegue test is the synonym for straight leg raise test. For example, a patient comes to a surgeon and or orthopedic surgeon or orthopedic physician. The consultant just checked that patient and says that the patient is not having the sciatica or is not having any neurological deficit. Now the patient just did some of the tests and referred the patient to the physiotherapist. When the patient comes to the physiotherapist, the patient complains that the patient is having the L5 dermatome. There is some disruption, or there is some of the thing which is not normal in L5 region of the dermatome. So at that time, what you need to do as a physiotherapist, you need to re-diagnose the problem. Sometimes the physicians or the surgeons do not check that so deeply that they can identify if the patient is having some neurological deficit or not. So you need to perform the test to identify is patient having the neurological deficit or not. And in identification of the sciatica, you are performing the Lassegue test, you are performing the straight leg raise test. You are relying on this test to identify that the patient is having some situation which is leading towards sciatica. The main question is how much you can rely on Lassegue test or SLR test for identification of the problem. So this is how we need to know about the diagnostic test, that how they can proceed or what can be outcome of these tests and how much reliable and valid these tests are, and this can be performed and these results can be got if we know about some of the situations which are like if we study the evidences, if we study the evidence-based practice, then we can identify that. Now the assignment for you guys is in the chapter number 2, at the last of the chapter, there is a table mentioned for the diagnosis. What you guys need to do is you are going to open the book, you are going to take the picture of that table, or you are going to screenshot the picture of that table if you are having the ebook. Then you will send me that part or that table at my personal WhatsApp number, not in the comment section. And it is just the way I can identify that how many people or how many students are just watching my video completely and listening to my lectures. So if one of you get this situation, or one of you is watching the complete video, that one would not tell other persons that the teacher has given this assignment. So this is the assignment for you guys, and I hope you guys are clear about your chapter. If you guys have any query about these two chapters, chapter number 1 and chapter number 2, you can ask me directly, or you can comment in the comment section, and you can also find different ways for contacting me. And these two chapters are not so long, they are really small chapters. I have mentioned and I have taught you everything which was mentioned in the book. So if you want to just revise the lectures, you can do it from the YouTube also, and if you want to read it, you can read it from the book. So this is all about today's lecture. Thank you so much.